Why release this teaser trailer on a Saturday when people aren't at their computers and are instead out and about? Well, that's because South by Southwest is going on right now, and the boys had themselves a panel, and you always got to bring goodies to your panel. Speaking of goodies, as you can see, a number of the cast members showed up. The cast is very supportive of this show. They're always there to promote it, which I think is wonderful. And one of the people who's always front and center is Anthony Starr, Homelander. I think despite how talented this cast is, he really is the face of the show. He's the most beloved character. I think he's what makes this show special, what really puts it above and beyond what it otherwise would be. But unfortunately, Anthony Starr is not at South by Southwest, I'm assuming because he's getting some help because he was involved in a major incident which he instigated recently overseas. I don't know if you saw the headline, and I don't think he wasn't at this event to avoid any questions about it because people are going to ask him about it when he resurfaces to promote this season. So I hope that he's getting the help that he needs. So there was a fight. He was convicted and sentenced to 12 months in prison, but it was deferred, the jail sentence, on a number of stipulations, but one of them was that he would pay a settlement, I believe $4,000, to the individual that he harmed. So I think that because of the character he plays, this is not a deal breaker for his image, and especially also if he gets the help that he needs. So we're all rooting for him. I think he's incredibly talented, and I'd love to see him come out of the other side of this, in a better place. All right, so let's break down this trailer, this teaser. I think it's excellent. It's very, very good. And there's just actually so much for us to go over. So let's get to it. All right, so we start out with look at the smile is almost where his little smile is. But he's not, Butcher ain't smiling. And I gotta say, while it really is, as much as Anthony Starr is the face of this show, Karl Urban is a vital, he's the, the yin to Anthony Starr's yang. They are a great duo, and I'm such a big Karl Urban fan. I've been a fan of his since, he was in Star Trek and Lord of the Rings and Dredd, and I'm so happy, it was always like, why isn't Karl Urban more famous? And I'm so happy that he found his signature role. He's really good at it. So as you can see, he's getting used to his powers. Oh, they do such a good job. Everybody seems to have light-up eyes at this point. I don't care. I love light-up eyes. After telekinesis, it might be my second favorite power. But telekinesis is where it's at. I think Butcher has a pretty good set of powers. He has laser vision, it's been revealed, and super strength. That's a nice set of powers. Okay, he'll be able to do a lot of damage with that. So, and then I love, and the lyrics are talking about looking at yourself in the mirror. It's Imagine Dragons, new song. Very Vought-like to have that, to debut it with this, or have it a part of this teaser. Isn't that a great shot? Oh, I love it. And so he's looking in the mirror. Oh no, is he? I think he's looking at a portrait. But you can see he's looking at by the way, it looks like he got punched maybe or hit in the face there a little bit. So I wonder if that's made him do some self-reflection. Maybe by Butcher, he's like, wow, someone could hit back all of a sudden. And you can see he's in this room looking at what it looks like. I think that's like George Washington over there, looking at these portraits of all these leaders, American leaders, what he's supposed to be. I think that's interesting. I think that, I think that Anthony Starr does a great job balancing the evilness of Homelander with his noble intentions. That's why he makes such a great anti-hero, or potentially at some point an anti-hero. But he's a villain that you can understand. He's a very interesting character. So there's Black Noir, who I guess got over his allergies. That was great. I thought Hughie, Jack Quaid, looked so much like Jason Bateman here that if I were his agent, I'd start saying, he's the new Jason Bateman, all right? Although Jason Bateman's like, hey, I got a lot of years left on me, buddy. So as you remember, Starlight has gone back to her original costume that doesn't show as much skin, that she's more comfortable with. That was one of her demands. And she and Homelander are really, the face of the team here for this. I wonder who's in the foreground there. Is that Crimson Cat? I wonder who's here. I wonder who that is. All right, so anyway, there's a photo shoot. And Starlight, not happy. That's a nice costume that she has. A lot of tension below the surface. So you see Starlight clench her fist, and then you see Mother's Milk, also very unhappy. Their leader of Vought. They do a good editing job with taking off the shades. There's Frenchie. I wonder if that's a Pride Day situation there behind him with Maeve, maybe, and it's part of that. So we have a new character here who's investigating, who's looking into things. And he's looking into supers. And that's Europo. And it was Europa who was a character in the comics, who was a teleporter, actually, and a member of another team called G-Force. So many teams. It used to be just the boys versus seven. The boys versus the seven. But this season, we've got other players coming into the mix. And so we have past superheroes, but maybe, now that I say that, we have other people who are fighting superheroes as well besides the boys. And maybe this is one of those individuals looking into murders and violence that's either definitely perpetrated by superheroes or supers, or you suspect it to be. And I think Soldier Boy's on there as well as one of the missing posters. So this guy looks like a cool character. So they're like the boys, down to business as usual. Now this is a funny take. So a lot of people picked up on the fact that this is a spoof of Kendall Jenner's Pepsi ad that had to be pulled because people found it so offensive to the way it trivialized the Black Lives Matter movement. And what Kendall Jenner was trying to do was use Pepsi as the flower in the Flower Power famous photograph that has been used ever since about, protesters putting flowers in the barrels of guns of the police who were supposed to quiet the rioters, the protesters. That was, of course, very powerful imagery, and it's why Kendall Jenner is saying a Pepsi, using it for a commercial was just so awful. But I think the history, this show, The Boys, is very much involved in history and politics. You're going to see they're going to actually reference the Vietnam War here in this teaser trailer alone. And so I'm sure that, this isn't only making fun of Kendall Jenner, but the long history of protests, especially in the United States, versus the establishment. All right, so, which is kind of like what the boys are versus the soups, right? The seven, or Vought. So look, he's got his own drink. So bad. I don't like his new costume, by the way. All right, so we have a boy band here, and in the center there, in the center, this is a new character called Supersonic, who was originally Drummer Boy, they're saying. I guess this is maybe the competition that we see later. This is great. It's so the boys. I love this kind of commentary. And Supersonic, when he was with Starlight, they remember that second or third string, Christian, core of superheroes. So that's when he was Drummer Boy. So he has a history with Starlight. That's all you need to know. And now he's a new superhero called Supersonic. And this is his audition, I guess, maybe. And remember, look for clues for the spin-offs they have coming up, including like a college campus of upcoming soups. That's going to be one of the live action spin-offs that they have for this show. So I love this where he puts on the smile. Oh, it's so great. It's very well done. It's just perfect. I just absolutely love that. So we can see some of the employees there. Now, here's a different kind of expression of love. And this was interesting. I did not anticipate this. This is clearly a Seven publicity event. Oh, there you can see in the background, Homelander and Maeve taking their photos. And Starlight's about to step out into the press line. And she's with Hughie, who I guess now that he's gone legit, they can be a couple out in the open. So that's very interesting. And so he'll be backstage at more Vought events and probably running into Supersonic and the whole group. So I like that. I think that's a great development. And it's going to give the boys even more access to what's going on. Oh, I love it. Now, it looks like Homelander is calling A-Train fat. But he's very upset with him, like seriously. Oh, there we go, some cool, I love the laser vision. Because remember, A-Train is the one who helped the boys take down Stormfront, who was, Homelander's, he got involved with the wrong lady, girlfriend. So maybe he knows, maybe he's suspicious of it. Now this is Victoria Neuman, still sploding people, but this is they show the beginning of this fight. So she can explode apparently not just your head, but your whole body. Oh, she's very upset. She doesn't care about having to clean that up. She's already messy, she feels. I love the cracked mirror. Maybe he kind of loses his way. Maybe he sees how power corrupts. That would be an interesting exploration. Oh, I like that a lot. Because, he's got his wife has been killed. I don't know how you can continue this storyline if he doesn't level up without Homelander just taking him out at this point. Although, of course, he is going to start working for the government, you might recall. Although it doesn't seem like he is in this teaser, or I think that maybe would be a bigger part of this, unless he's like still way off the radar. But I like this way he looks back. That's really cool. And so Starlight's like, I also have light up eyes, thank you very much, but they're less impressive than both Homelanders and Butcher's. Now, here, this is an actor you've been seeing a lot, doing a lot of the YouTube videos of Vought News Network. And he's an anchor, and you can see that things are about to get intimate with what looks like a star-spangled, you can see what that is. I don't need to say what it is. And here she is fighting this guy. I love Kimiko, she does a great job. Now, this is Crimson Countess, which is the Scarlet Witch spoof of this show, and she was on a team called Payback, the original Vought superhero team that was led by Soldier Boy, who's of course a big part of this season. Crimson Countess was on it, and also a superhero called Gunpowder, who you're about to see a little bit later in this trailer. But here's the Crimson Countess, and remember, these superheroes age at a much slower rate, which is why Stormfront came from World War II and still seemed like a contemporary hero. But right now, she's working at a theme park. You can see that some of the Pride Day celebrations there behind her. So maybe that's where Frenchie is, doing some undercover work or to investigate her. She uses her power, which is not Scarlet Witch-like too much at all. I guess a little bit, the red energy. And she explodes this Homelander balloon, which seems like there should be a much larger group of people around that to I guess you want to be in the blast zone if you're in Voughtland. And I don't know if that was filled with something weird or if her energy turns things into like this crimson goo. We'll have to learn more about her powers. So for some reason, Kimiko is breaking Hughie's arm. So that must be for something that he needs to sell. So yikes. He's really taking one for the team. And I love Carl Urban. He's so great. His deadpan is awesome. Now this, also apparently, maybe they'll do like the superhero, maybe this superhero contest is a little like Eurovision, and it's been around for a very long time. Maybe that's what Soldier Boy is doing, because you can see he's singing on, older footage. Then we see the Deep, who I believe might be doing adult films. Let's see. But, based on who's behind him, I think that might be what's happening. So a lot of these are same scenes cut together. So there you can see Victoria Neuman taking that guy apart first that way. Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh. But that's just baked beans. Black Noir's like, leave me alone, man. I'm just having a snack. And I wonder if those are all his illustrations behind him. I wonder, maybe he's a furry. Let's see what happens. On this show, I think anything could happen. And I love seeing Queen Maeve finally get to do some Wonder Woman type maneuvers. Good for her. Then we see Soldier Boy again. And this looks like World War II. I'm not sure if this is World War II or if this is like, because he would have been involved in a number of wars, or the Vietnam War. So we'll see. But, this is obviously propaganda. He's taking a hit to the face and he doesn't even care. Now, I don't know if Lucky's like written on the wall or juxtaposed with font, but what's happening here? Well, that guy clearly has his pants down. What a time to get caught with your pants down. Because it seems like there's like an Ant-Man type figure who embiggens when he's inside of him. With his pants down, that takes on a whole new meaning. Woo! And you can see that Starlight is also like, oh my gosh. And speaking of private moments, the Deep, apparently to feel aroused, is looking into that fish tank. Good for Crawford. He's really going for it. Whoa. All right. Apparently, but there's no market for this. Maybe there is. There's a lot of crazy stuff online. So there you see what looks like, is Compound V is usually blue though. So I wonder why this stuff is green. So he's taking some compound, so he's got it, and I guess he would have to like maybe keep taking it. I don't know if just once would be enough. He's an addict too, addict storyline. Oh boy, and it's tough. And he throws up right in Hughie's mouth. I believe that Hughie is the other person who gets the powers. And the stuff's green, the barf's green, just like the vial. So maybe that's how Hughie gets it. Whoa. He would owe him that after throwing up in his mouth. Jack Quaid's great. I love this. So Homelander's got his fans. This is clearly a commentary on politics today, obviously. And I love the way look at him. He's like, my peoples. So he does a great job. So here's his son, Ryan, who's clearly having some problems. I forget what that chain around his neck is, what that represents. But he's, I'm hoping to see more of his powers. And he has inherited his father's laser vision. Love it. I guess maybe he and Butcher can learn to aim with their laser vision together. Bonding experience. That would actually be pretty interesting. All right, so everybody's upset. Everybody's upset. Now here's American Hero. That's great, because you can see it's the same stage that Supersonic was performing on earlier. The back screen really can make a difference with the way they light it up. And so here, we've got some kind of fight breaking out. And A-Train stops it, puts a stop to it. Black Noir continuing his sketch work while he's in a meeting. There, then we see the Deep doing some more sexy time. I think this is great. I love, it's obviously a good crying shot, but I love that her tears have glitter in them because of her eye makeup. That's pretty awesome. So I guess someone decided to give Homelander a cow. I don't know if it was a gift or he got it himself, but clearly he's discovered that there's an even better way to get milk and to enjoy more of the process. Wow. All right, now we have a musical situation. Obviously, I guess a fantasy sequence between Frenchie and Kimiko. I'm rooting for those two crazy kids. That should be great. I've seen a lot of musical episodes, though, recently, so they're going to have to work hard to make it good. Now, this doesn't look like propaganda footage. This looks like a flashback. And this is Soldier Boy during the Vietnam War. He looks less, groomed by the PR department. So, just like, I think they've always kind of explored, especially in some of the recent, there was a storyline where Captain America joined the Viet Cong, actually, because he felt it was an unjust war. To see how Soldier Boy evolves in his allegiances based on how the American people did based on the wars, I think could be really cool. Although I think when he said he didn't enjoy this anymore, something bad happened to him. Well, just hold on. And then I think this is also, with Vietnam and the horrors of Vietnam. I think that's very compelling. And then cut to him smiling as the leader of Payback, thinking he's doing a good job. Look at that suit. Instead of latex, because it's an older costume, it has like a metal eye thing about it. That's a very interesting choice. I like that. Now look, this is Gunpowder. This is the other member of Payback. And I think that Billy Butcher is trying out his new powers on him. He's like, yeah, I like this boy. So then we have Kimiko, and then I like the way his eyes actually smoke. That's really cool, like it hurts. That's a great idea. And then I love this final shot, because they really are the two alphas. It's down to these two guys. So you got Homelander, and I don't even know if they're in the same room. I don't think they are, actually, because they're totally different design rooms, but it looks like they're looking at each other. And it's like a little like the end of the Obi-Wan trailer. A look goes a long way, especially with actors of this caliber. Then they say, The Boys, new season, June 3rd. I'm going to cover it weekly. They've proven that it's worth it. And so here we see someone escaping, and it is Jensen Ackles, the new Soldier Boy, and he's obviously been captive a long time. And I think he might have had some problems with the Vietnam War, and I think that this was Vought's answer. So was he being indoctrinated? Some of you think they're going to do a Winter Soldier type storyline, even though he's a Captain America type figure. Dividing. Putting the two characters into one. They could also do a Weapon X, although there's some Weapon X elements to Winter Soldier already. Maybe he was harnessed to provide power to, like he's like a human power plant. I'm very curious to see what's happened with him. And I think he's going to be upset. The question is, whose side is he on? I'm excited. All right, so what did you think? What do you think of the teaser? Or what are you most hoping to see in season 3? And what are you the most surprised to see hinted at here? Share those thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.